Anyway, Josh Muha here. So today is February 19th, and it's a nice day out here in northern Michigan. It's probably about 35 degrees outside and still cool, but hey, better than 20. And the sun was actually shining pretty bright out. Right now it's being blocked off by a couple clouds, but it'll shine again. Anyway, I was just already working on making notes with my Mustang. No, this is not my Mustang. This is just a notebook with a Mustang. And this is where I keep all the notes I need for my 72 Ford Mustang, Mandy Mustang. And I was just jotting it down so that I can think about what I can do for this year. And as a matter of fact, I actually do know what I'm going to be doing this year. But first of all, let me just check first. Before I talk about what I got planned out for this year, I'm gonna be going over to my YouTube channel, and according to this, I just found out about a few days ago that I just reached 100 subscribers. So right now I am at 104. Yep. Not so sure if you saw it, but I'll tell you anyway. Yep, 104 subscribers. So definitely a big milestone and definitely a great achievement of mine. So anyway, I was just already making notes on what to do for my 72 Mustang, and this one is going to be about rear axle rebuilding, or better yet, Ford 9-inch rebuilding, because after decoding my Mustang's VIN number, found out that the gear ratio on the Ford 9-inch is a 275 gear. So let me just bring it up right here. Yep, 275. And I usually jot my notes down for when it comes to decoding VIN numbers, as well as making notes for upcoming projects. This is how I know what it's got. I just go under mustangspecs.com. So it all started with Google, and it led me to that website. So it's already gave me the whole breakdown on my whole VIN number. And of course, I even took a picture of my VIN number. So, yep, did that. But I also managed to take a picture of this little doohickey on my door panel, because that tells me other codes as well. So that's kind of another good reason of decoding VIN numbers as well. So let me try doing this real quick. It says that I'm live, so let's see what happens if I click on it. Yep, it says I'm live. So better turn the volume down so I can hear myself talk. So yeah, that's kind of my goal for this year, is Ford 9-inch rebuild. And this will be my last project for that Mustang. Well, by far, it's going to be my final project for my Mustang. And after that, I'd say she's done. Don't have to do any more projects for another good few years, or just whenever. Anyway, so on to the project. After finding out that my Ford 9-inch on the Mustang is a 275 gear, I also came into my National Parts Depot catalog, and I was looking at these lists of Ford 9-inch gear ratios, and check it out. I got, let's see, got a 350, 370, 389, 411, 465. So those are pretty good gears, but I thought, 350 seems doable. I mean, you can get better 0 to 60 acceleration for a street car. You could also get I'm sure you can get better 0 to 60 acceleration, like maybe 6, maybe 7 seconds, considering my board over 359 Cleveland is been dynoed out at, excuse me, motor's been dynoed out at 389.4 horsepower with 422 pounds of torque, and that was before it went in the car. and Barnett High Performance had it all dynoed out and gave me the whole stat sheet right from there. So now that the car's got the power and torque that a muscle car like that deserves, it just needs the right gear. So I came to a conclusion knowing that a 350 gear is definitely the best way to go for that car. To me, I would say it's the perfect startup for starting out with a good gear. But of course, I think it'd be better just to start things off with a 350 gear and see how she goes. Who knows? Maybe it could be permanent, could be temporary if I ever want to switch over to a 370 or 389. But I can stick with 350 and just go from there. Definitely get some better zero to acceleration that way, maybe 6 or 7 seconds or 5 seconds if I'm lucky. So yeah, I just think it'd be best just to go with the 350 gear and just go from there. But not only that, it's gonna definitely have to change out the gaskets, because if I tear the gaskets out of it, I'm gonna have to replace them. So rear axle housing gasket's gonna have to be changed, and so will the all gaskets in that thing are gonna have to be changed, such as axle flange, rear axle grease seal, and rear axle housing. So those are gonna have to be changed out if they're coming off. Well, actually they are coming off, they're just gonna be changed. So get that done, make sure the rear end's posi, hopefully, and definitely change the axle shafts as well. So it'd be best to change out the axle shafts because they've been on the car since 1972, and I'm not so sure in its current condition if they're going to handle that 350 gear. So I'm going to have to change out the axle shafts for sure. And, oh, that's right, another thing. Wheel bearings on the back are going to have to be changed as well, considering the whole axle assembly is going to come out. So change out the bearings and definitely check over the drum brakes, because I've got a pretty good feeling those shoes and the drum brakes are going to have to be changed. So, yep, I'd say that's about it. Gear change, 350. Gaskets and seals going to have to be changed. Axle shafts, definitely. Wheel bearings, and some new parts for the drum brakes. So that'll basically be it for the final project for my 72 Mustang. And another good thing that I'd like to point out, and hopefully I will, is get my tachometer working as well. And from one of my previous videos, if you go to my playlist, it'll be titled New Year, New Plans, and it talks about me doing the tachometer, try to get that to work. And last fall, when I had my Mustang getting ready for winter storage, one of my good buddies, Mike Conrad, came over to my house to help me see if we can diagnose it. And sure enough, we now found out after wiring that tach, hooking up to the battery on my ATV, we found out it actually works. So we just went over a fine-tooth comb and find out there's a gray wire to my MSD electronic ignition box. And we found out that gray wire that's not hooked up is actually meant for my tachometer. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to get the wiring diagram manual for my Mustang and then see where it is I should hook up that gray wire so that I can get that tachometer working. And then I'll know for sure that car is going to finally have a functioning tachometer. Then I'll know for sure what this thing idles at in its current form, and then see if the idle speed needs to go down a little bit so that this thing can idle at no more than 1,000 RPMs, because I feel like that idle speed is just a little too high. So I hope I'll be able to get that thing all working right, so I know for sure how well this thing performs in its current form of performance. So yeah, get that taken care of, find a way to get that gray wire hooked up to the tach so that it's working right, and then I can figure out the rest from there. and as well as Ford 9-inch rebuilding. Really looking forward to that as well. But there's also another project that's also come to mind. If you remember from one of my previous posts from last summer, it showed that I took my 84 Trans Am Miss Jenny over to my friend Jim Sabin in his garage to get my new exhaust put on. It was a Dynamax Super Turbo muffler with some exhaust pipes, well, exhaust tips, that kind of has a bit of a factory look, but way better. So we got that hooked up, and the car worked perfect output wise, but it also was doing better acceleration wise because many years ago, before I got the car, someone or some rookie mechanic or amateur mechanic had the muffler put on upside down, which was making half output, and that car has been working on half output throughout my 18 years of ownership with this car. So we finally got to work. The car was doing better than normal, and sure enough, she was accelerating better than ever. So I thought this would be a good time to finish off the exhaust by putting in the exhaust pipe that goes between the muffler and the catalytic converter. But then figure out, is there anything else I could put in that middle section that goes between the exhaust manifold and the muffler? So I think it'd be best just to do a little research, see what I can find out from there, and hopefully, oh yeah, that's right. Another good thing I'd like to point out for my Trans Am, I put a lot of thought into figuring out what I could do afterwards, and I like to think that it'd be best to take out the factory air cleaner assembly and swap it out with a K&N air filter assembly, and it'll be just like a regular size air cleaner that's just all the way around, but it also, well, not only you get airflow from the side, but also on the top, so you can get air going in from the top and on the side. Yeah, on the side. So it definitely would give it better air induction that way. And of course, another reason why I put that, because my hood scoop on that Trans Am is functional, so all that airflow going in is definitely going to go right into the air cleaner, and it's going to get better air induction that way, just by not from the top but also on the sides. So acceleration on that thing should definitely be improved. But of course, it does give it a performance advantage. So I'd say with that Dynamax exhaust setup, along with the K&N air filter assembly, I'd say she'll definitely make about 200 horses tops, maybe. But I could be wrong. Whatever it was making, I would say she'll get 200 horses out of that thing. And of course, it's a small block Chevy, so basically you can do anything with a small block Chevy, because that's what they had back in the early 80s when those third generation Firebirds were brand new. The engines on that thing were small block Chevys. So whatever you do with a small block Chevy, anything, because hot rodders have been doing this kind of stuff since the 60s. So that would be a goal that I'd like to pursue by next year. So when next year comes, I'll probably give that Trans Am at least a whole year off, because that motor will have to come right out, and I'm going to spend the majority of my summer working on rebuilding, tearing apart that small block Chevy and rebuilding it. And I'm pretty sure, definitely tear it apart, clean it up, definitely put some fresh new performance parts in, mainly Edelbrock, because they make some excellent parts for those small block Chevys. So I'm definitely considering using some Edelbrock parts for the Trans Am's 5-liter V8. And that'll definitely give it the horsepower it deserves. In fact, not only it's a Chevy motor, but I think the reason why I'll do it that way is mostly because back in the late 60s, when Chevy unveiled their first-gen Camaros, their Z28 models had a high-performance Chevy 302 making 290 horses, 300 if possible. So I thought for my Trans Am, since the 305 5-liter V8 is a Chevy 305 and it's a 5-liter V8, and so is the high performance 302. Why not take a page out of Chevy's book of when they did the Chevy 302 small block and put that same stuff in the 305? Considering they're both 5-liter V8s, I'd say this will work perfect. Just figure out what parts that Chevy used for making it up to 290-300 horses and just put it in there. At least I've got all summer to do a little research on, well, actually all year to do a little research and take some notes on what Chevy used in their high performance 302 small block and put it in my Chevy 305 for my Trans Am. It'll be perfect. So I think that kind of does it for upcoming projects. Also, as far as upcoming videos goes, I'm sure you remember my latest video, my 40th video called hang on 1 second, let me just jot this real quick. My latest video, which was the 17th annual Harbor Springs Car Festival, which I've uploaded yesterday, and it says I just made 300 views. So yeah, 300 views in one day, that's actually pretty impressive. But of course, it says in parentheses, car show for dad, because this is my tribute of honoring my dad who lost his life to cancer in August 9th, 2023. And I gotta tell you, working on that video was pretty emotional. And after watching my video as a preview before uploading it, it choked me up a little bit. But again, it was a pretty emotional time for me working on that video, but I got it to work, and sure enough, I've got a pretty good amount of views on that. And of course, my other videos I've got, it says that my cruising car show video that I've uploaded 2 weeks ago has made 3,500 views, and that's pretty impressive. But of course, my video before Harbor Springs, which was the 2023 Boyne Falls Car Show and Cruisin' featuring General Lee, it's already got 2,000 views. 2,000 views in 8 days. And to me, I'd say that's pretty impressive. But of course, anyone who loves Dukes of Hazzard, like me, because I'm a big-time Dukes of Hazzard fan, and that is like the greatest TV show ever. And that video I've uploaded 8 days ago has already made 2,000 views, and that's pretty impressive. I just gotta say, I just love what I do, and all my friends and family who know what I do, they just love what I do. Even my coworkers at work watch my videos, and they loved it too. So it's a real privilege for them just to have them enjoy what I do, because they say, wow, you do videos about car stuff, that's impressive. And especially with your own cars, I'd say that's pretty impressive too. So really like to thank all my friends, family, and people who know me in general I really can't tell you how much I appreciate you enjoying watching my videos, as well as subscribing as well. So I think it's pretty cool that everyone who's subscribed and watched my videos, I really do appreciate it. So I think that kind of about does it for now, and sun's getting brighter, and considering it's nice and warm out, I think this will be a good time for the first time since October of 2023 that I think I should go to my barn and get my cars fired up for the first time in 4 or 5 months, I think. And let me see. December, 4 months. Yeah, I'd say it's been 4 months since I've had those cars fired up and idling. So I think today's a perfect day just to get them all fired up and just get that engine running, get all those fluids just flowing nicely. I think it'll be I think this is a perfect day to do it. So I think that just about does it for today. So to all my viewers and to all my friends, family, and to everyone who subscribed to my channel, you have my thanks. So, be sure to like, comment, well, better yet, like and subscribe. Feel free to do so, and big thanks to all who's subscribed to this channel. You have my thanks. So anyway, like I said, like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment and be up to date on the latest videos just by hitting that bell icon. You don't want to miss any of those upcoming videos if you want to be up to date on them. So, I guess that's just about do it for today. And as always, thanks for watching. You all take care, and most of all, stay cool. Later. That was fun. Alright, I guess that just about does it for today. Later.